Hello and good day, ladies and gentlemen. Konzi here, bringing you episode 7 of Kenshi Age of Blood and Sand playthrough. In the last episode we saw Lidus get taken down by the Skellies, so we have continued the episode with him having been knocked out and is now trying to heal himself up. We managed to get the prosthetic limbs that we needed for the rest of the Hivers, which will give us a nice amount of spares, plus be able to get Phobo back on his feet, so therefore going to be a useful member of the colony, which would be quite useful. Once I get healed up, I reckon I'm going to try and take on this iron skimmer. They normally drop some pretty decent parts. Right, okay. We'll try that one again. We'll heal back up, and then we'll go back after the iron skimmer. It got beaten up by the Skellies, so it's not going to be too dangerous. And probably would help if I took the block off, which is not something amazing. So we managed to knock it down, and then it's just pinged straight across the map. So we'll go, we'll loot that, see if there's anything good, which, like I said, there normally is a couple decent parts. So we've got some skeleton muscles, some iron bars, and some electronics. All will catch a decent price, but we'll leave the iron bars or the steel bars. They're not going to be needed for the moment, and they're a little bit heavy. We'll get Lidus to return to the rest of the Hivers. The sooner he gets there and the sooner he can give them the prosthetic limbs they need, the better we're going to be for it. We're going to start to upgrade our research station because we've researched almost everything at T1. Going to need to go get a few more supplies just to make this happen. So we're going to take the iron plates. They will just go straight into building the research lab, research station, which would be quite useful. We'll go through, have a look for the research stuff that we need. I'll fast forward this bit because it's going to take quite a while because we're sorting through a fair bit. There's going to be things we don't need as of yet, so I'm not going to research them. Then there are going to be things that we do need. The problem with running this many mods is it makes sorting through, trying to find what you want, particularly difficult. So we're going to set up some storage here. This is going to be quite useful because that means I can go to the shop, mass buy a bunch of things, and my guys will just put them in storage. So when we start trying to automate our production, they won't need to go as far, and they'll be able to get the things a little bit easier. Also, it's going to free up the inventory on my hives, which is going to be pretty appreciated. I do want some bigger storage because a lot of these smaller storages can only carry 25 things, but trying to fit in one of the large storages, storage units, is going to be quite difficult. So I think I'll have to stick with the small ones. Having looked at the tower, it does look like we are going to outgrow it fairly quickly. But for the moment it's going to do the job. I don't expect the whole playthrough to be played from the tower, but it's just going to be a nice place to call home for a while, start getting our equipment together, start getting our research together, so we can start moving across the map. Because I'm thinking of heading to Catan, and if we try to go there now, we'd either have to go through the unwanted zone, and they're great to beak things there. My hives wouldn't make it through, and if we went through Stobe Scamble, we'd just get picked apart by Reavers before we made it. I know Lidus and Ray would be able to fend them off, but the other hivers would start taking a lot of damage. With that damage, we're going to slow to a crawl, essentially, because a lot of the hivers will be. And if it's like that, that's when Kenshi becomes very difficult, because you're just going to keep hitting into group after group after group. I don't really like the idea of having to make a small camp there to heal up to move forward, because in the time we're healing we're just going to attract more enemies, aggro more things onto us. So if we can get some acceptable equipment so my guys can take a couple hits, keep moving forward, keep heading towards Catan. Obviously we'll take a few fights, we'll probably lose a fight or two and take some damage, but it just means we can keep moving forward and it's going to be safer and easier. We probably won't lose anyone on the way there, well I hope not. most likely we will lose a few limbs, but we got some spares here, as you can see. But I don't think we'll be going to Catan until we've probably got about 20 odd Hivers, because at the moment we're going to be able to support a fair few. Okay, so Phobo's got his bits. This is going to make Cyber Beep real jealous, or just Beep. He needs his prosthetic upgrade to become Cyber Beep, but he's going to be a pretty good scout for us now and a runner. So I'm going to be able to send him out on adventures just to get smaller and minor things. Want to clear him some space so I can move the iron plates across. This is going to make it easier because they're going to be able to stack in the backpack compared to in his standard inventory, which is just going to take up too much space. Also, it being in the backpack, he's not going to get encumbered as much, so he's going to be able to carry more things. I'll buy the copper ingots because sometimes you need them for the windmills. Whether or not we need them for the small ones, I'm not sure. I probably will have to check, because I think we'll end up stripping the power from this place once we get to the point where we have a lot of fabrication on. So if we don't need them, it's not an issue. They're fairly cheap, but they're semi-rare. They're not a common item, so if we got a couple and we don't use them, not a big deal. If we do need them and we don't have them, obviously that's going to be more of an issue, so just having them is going to be easier. I'm running a little bit low on cash, not super low, but low enough. We're going to get the rest of the storage sorted, so bottom there's going to be storage and research. Once this is done, I get some more money and we have the ability to get some more iron plates and building materials, start building our fabrication areas up. So what I'm thinking is we'll need a leather tanning station, clothing crafting station to start with, leather armor crafting station, and a weapon crafting station for the moment. We'll run with the cloth armor crafting station for a little bit, then we'll end up swapping that out for the leather armor crafting station, just because I'm going to be able to build more things at the moment with the cloth armor. And also I don't have a wide supply of animal skins coming in yet, which will be something that we'll need to start looking for towards the next episodes. Okay, so what we're going to do is we'll send Lidus down towards Black Scratch, see if we can't start picking up any armor schematics or any extra hivers. What I'd like to have is I'd like to have princes, use the princes as my smiths, so it'll be easier to identify what people are doing. So I'd use my standard Hiver drones as essentially grunt labour, unskilled stuff. Then when it comes to more of the sciences, robotics crafting, things like that, weapons, armour, we'll use the Hives, the Hiver princes for that, because I don't know, just to me that makes more sense. And then like I said, we'll use the Hiver drones for essentially the drone work. So we managed to make it to Brink, which is quite nice. Got there pretty much without any incident. Gonna have a look around, see if we cannot find any extra recruits. Well, Hive recruits anyway. And it looks like, yeah, we got a prince on the top floor who we will recruit. Pretty happy with that. And then we'll send him back towards the way station. And then there's one more bar. We'll go have a little ganders in there, see if there's another hive. Ideally I would like a soldier drone, because at the moment the only fighters I have are Lidus and Ray. But I will take what I'm given at the moment. Beggars really can't be choosers. This is part of the reason why we saved a little bit of money, is so I can recruit if there is anyone around. Yeah, just let me go through the bags. There's nothing there anyway, so that's not an issue. And we'll just keep on going. And we found looks like another prince. Yeah, sweet, another prince. I reckon, let's give him a name. Let's go with Smith. Yeah, Smith works. As you're not going to get confused what his job is if you name him Smith. So that's cool. So we've got two Hiver princes. Nothing too much else here. that I'm looking for, so that's alright. What I'll do is I'll look... Wait, hold up. A noble... Yeah, no, I don't fancy grovelling to you, mate. Do one. Alright. Well, we'll see if Smith can make it. We're going to bow for no man in this playthrough. We're 3 independent Hivers that need no united cities to protect us. Oh, you got far. Okay, so what the plan will be, we'll get Lidus. We'll send him back into town because he's far enough away that he doesn't get aggroed by that squad. We'll get him back, and once Smith has been dropped off, he's been healed up by the United Cities. We'll then do a little switcheroo into there, pick him up and run out. Okay, let's see if we can get any blueprints or weapons. Okay, now that looks like that's going to be Traders Guild. Those guys don't like us because we might have killed a bunch of their Garus and a couple trade caravans. But then, don't go fight a 9-foot tall angry Praetorian. I like to think it's their fault. So, we'll go bust Smith out. We'll go nice and sneaky. Wait until they're a bit out the way. Okay, what we got here? Nothing too bad. I mean, they're not too well equipped, so he is going to go down. But he should survive. I don't think he'll bleed out. He hasn't got much toughness, so he's going to go down quite quickly. If he goes down quickly, he's less likely to lose limbs. We get Smith out as soon as we can. What we'll do is just put him on our shoulder, sneak out the front door, because Kenshi, and then we'll start heading to go meet up with our other prince. So then we can hopefully pick him up and get him out as well. And his leg's a bit mashed up, but that's kind of to be expected. Alright, they might have managed to notice us sneaking out the door. Not an issue. We'll just run, try to create some distance between us and the town, which shouldn't be too difficult so long as Lidus doesn't get tagged in the legs. This shouldn't be too much of an issue. The gate guards don't seem too bothered, it's just United Cities police. They're also running around in samurai plates, so they're not super quick. And hopefully by the time we get to our Hiver prince, they will have either de-aggroed or we will have run into another group. Then if they go into the other group, they might aggro onto them instead, meaning all we need to fight is whoever survives the fight between two. Yeah, so a bunch of grass pirates showed up, aggroed the guards. We're pretty much clear now, so we're going bandage up Emmett, first chance we get. Okay, like I said, a couple stragglers will probably catch up with us, which they have, which is nothing too much to worry about. I'm not too worried about them. Lidus dealt with them like super quick. So Emmett is now healed up and Smith's taking a bit of a ding to the chest. We'll just start trying to head towards the way station. I'll get them to go at the same speed, so at least this way Emmett has a little bit of protection from Ray, but we'll see how it goes. The issue is obviously Lidus can only carry one at a time, which isn't ideal. So if two of them get knocked unconscious, I can only take one of them. I don't really want to take Ray away from the way station at the moment, because you do get slave traders will end up going into this way station occasionally, and if that happens, all of a sudden, instead of just losing one hive, I've now got to do a jailbreak again for all the hives that I've just busted out, which could be good fun, but not quite what I'm after. What I'm after now is just getting my equipment, just get my stuff sorted, so we can produce our own equipment. So like here, we're going to start putting down our fabrication parts. So we got our cloth, we got our leather, and we'll go for a weaponsmith towards the top. This is going to take a lot of plates, but if we just keep going to the shop every day, their stock will refresh, so we're going to always have some. And right now, yeah, nothing too much. They seem just be making their way slowly, but they are making their way. Okay, so we got a couple hostiles here. We got some rebel farmers. Only thing that's really a threat in the rebel farmers is their hyenas and bone dogs, because they can do a lot of damage. They don't have much staying power in the fight because they don't have armor and they don't dodge, but their ability to, well, their DPS can be pretty mental. It would help, I guess, if we went back, healed up Emmett before he loses his leg and he bleeds out, which would be annoying. And also, we're not in a great area because we're at the border to a couple biomes, which means that you end up getting the wildlife and NPC group diversity of the three, which can cause problems, but hopefully I jinxed myself. Okay, going to need to pull Lidus back to try and deal with these beak things, because the beak things end up eating Emmett. That's going to be super annoying. So give me a sec to figure this one out. We are by by the way station, so what I'm thinking is maybe get Lidus to drop Smith, send Lidus back to fight the beak things, and probably send Ray to go pick up Smith, and then this way I can get both of my hives back. Obviously, getting to Emmett's going to be the most important one right now, because those beak things will just start gnawing on those corpses. Once those corpses start going down, that'll be an issue. Okay, so we are with the beak things. We have aggroed them, so don't need to worry too much about them eating Emmett anymore. Just got to worry if Lidus can fight 3 beak things. Well, 2 beak things now. So we should be fine. Nice thing, we're going to get a bunch of leather from the beak things. We're also going to get a bunch of meat, which I'm always going to need, seeing as I don't have any hydroponics or farms set up, so I can't produce my own food at the moment. So we just go through, take them. They also are dropping the damaged research books occasionally, which is quite nice. So once I get a writing station set up, I can start using parchment to repair them. So I'm going to have a decent supply of books coming in, which is always going to be appreciated. Okay, so we've got Emmett now. We'll head back to the way station, and we'll go see what's happening with Smith. Okay, this is... Oh no, Ray's still got the bounty. So what we'll use is we'll use Phobo. I think this will be a good test to try out his robotic limbs, see how they work. But he's seems pretty rapid, and it's going to be a little while for him to get there. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have to cut the video here. Thank you very much for watching episode 7 of Kenshi Age of Blood and Sand. I have been your host Konzi, and I hope you have a good day, and I hope you have a good evening.
I'm walking alone, the streets are empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town.